Listen to me. I'm listening to me. I don't care what went wrong last week. I don't care what went wrong last week. I don't care because tomorrow is yours. You got 24 hours ahead of you that haven't been written yet. And the question is, what are you going to do with them? Are you going to let fear write your story? Or are you going to pick up that pen and own your future? Some of you keep replaying the pain of the past when the promise of tomorrow is sitting right in front of you. You say you want success. You say you want change. But do you believe that tomorrow can actually belong to you? You've got to stop waiting for opportunity to knock. Build the door yourself. You've got to stop praying for the storm to pass. Learn to dance in the rain. Because the truth is, the people who succeed don't have perfect days. They just refuse to waste another one. So I'm telling you, tomorrow is yours if you claim it. If you work for it, if you sacrifice for it. Don't just dream, discipline yourself. Don't just hope, hustle for it. Don't just plan. Push yourself every single day. You were born to lead, born to rise, born to shine. But tomorrow doesn't belong to the lazy, to the doubters, or to the ones who keep saying that maybe next time. Tomorrow belongs to those who show up today. Stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Because that perfect time is not next week, not next year. It's now. Your tomorrow starts today. So when you wake up in the morning, don't just roll out of bed, rise with purpose. Speak to yourself. This is my day. This is my time. Tomorrow is mine. Because when your mindset shifts, your life shifts. When your hunger rises, your results rise. Tomorrow isn't a promise. It's a possibility. And the only question is, will you take it? Listen to me, because I want you to feel this deep in your spirit. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is coming to do the work for you. Nobody is going to hand you your dream on a silver platter. The sooner you understand that truth, the sooner your life changes. The power of ownership is not about control. It's about accountability, about standing up and saying, this is my life. This is my responsibility. This is my tomorrow. And I'm not waiting for permission to live it. Well, too many people are waiting for the right time, waiting for someone to recognize their talent, waiting for someone to open a door. But what if that door was never meant to be opened by someone else? What if it's your job to build the door yourself, to take the hammer, the nails, the wood of your effort, and construct your own path to success? That's ownership. When you own your life, you stop blaming others for where you are. You stop saying, if only I had more support, or if only life had been fair. Let me tell you something. Life isn't fair. But fairness was never the promise. Opportunity was. And opportunity doesn't wait for the one who complains. It waits for the one who asks. There are people out there right now who have less talent, less education, less experience, but they're outworking you. They're owning their 24 hours. They're not giving excuses. They're giving effort. They're not pointing finger. They're picking up responsibility. Ownership means waking up every morning and asking yourself, what can I do today to move closer to my dream? It means taking control of your habits, your discipline, your mindset. You can't talk about owning your tomorrow when you keep renting your time to distractions today. You can't expect to see change when you keep giving your energy to the things that drain you. You've got to decide that your dream is not negotiable. You've got to decide that your purpose matters more than your comfort. Because ownership is not about feeling good. It's about doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. There's power in saying, it's on me. That's not a phrase of pressure. That's a phrase of power. Because when it's on you, that means you're in control. You're no longer at the mercy of circumstances. You're no longer a victim of life. You're a creator of it. You don't wait for luck. You create opportunity through your consistency, your grind, your relentless pursuit of better. You can't own your future if you keep renting your excuses. Some people spend years blaming others for their situation. Their parents, their boss, their environment. And in that time, they lose the very thing they were supposed to build. You don't get to control every event that happens to you, but you do get to control your response. You get to choose your attitude. You get to choose your actions. And those choices every single day create the foundation of your tomorrow. When you take ownership, you stop saying, oh, they did this to me, and start saying, I allowed that. You start examining where your decisions took you. You start asking, what can I learn from this? Instead of, why did this happen to me? And that's when growth begins. Because ownership doesn't protect it protects your progress. The person who takes ownership doesn't waste time defending mistakes. They fix them, learn from them, and move forward stronger. You have to understand that the world doesn't owe you anything. Nobody owes you success. Nobody owes you recognition. The only thing you owe yourself is effort. The only thing you owe your dream is consistency. The only thing you owe your future is ownership. The greatest shift in your life will come when you stop waiting for opportunities and start creating them. You gotta start treating your life like a business. When something goes wrong, analyze it. When something goes right, repeat it. You are the CEO of your destiny, the architect of your purpose. And if the building of your dream keeps falling apart, stop blaming the materials. Fix the blueprint. Check your habits, your circle, your mindset. If something in your life isn't working, it's your job to correct it. That's ownership. Most people don't fail because they don't have talent. They fail because they refuse to take ownership of their time. They keep saying, tomorrow, I'll start, but tomorrow never comes for the uncommitted. You have to be willing to say, I'm done procrastinating. I'm done waiting for motivation. I'm done depending on others to push me. Because the truth is, the people who win in life are not always the smartest or the most gifted. They're the ones who take full ownership of every moment. When you take ownership, you start living with intention. You stop drifting. You stop wasting days doing meaningless things. Every decision becomes strategic. Every step has a purpose. You start realizing that the small choices, what time you wake up, what you eat, how you spend your evenings, they all add up to the bigger picture. Success doesn't come from one big event. It comes from thousands of small decisions made with ownership. There's power in saying, I can fix it. There's power in saying I can improve. There's power in saying it's my fault, but it won't happen again. Those words separate the winners from the quitters. Because when you own your mistakes, they lose power over you. When you take accountability, you gain control. You stop being a slave to circumstance and become a master of adaptation. That's where growth lives. Not in perfection, but in ownership. You've got to stop outsourcing your happiness. Stop depending on people to validate you. Stop waiting for applause before you start performing. The moment you take ownership of your happiness, you become unstoppable. You start realizing that joy is not found in the approval of others, but in the satisfaction of knowing you gave your best, even when no one was watching. Ownership is freedom. It's not a burden, it's liberation. Because when you own your actions, your energy, and your emotions, you take back control from everything that used to control you. The opinions of others, the mistakes of your past, the fears of your future, they no longer dictate your direction. You become grounded, focused, intentional. You start walking in purpose, not panic. Every successful person you admire, every entrepreneur, every athlete, every leader, they all share one trait. They own their life. They take full responsibility for their results. If they fail, they don't blame the web, the team, or the economy. They look inward. They analyze. They adapt. They grow. And that's why they rise. Because ownership produces evolution. When you truly own your life, excuses die. You stop saying I can and start saying how can I, and start saying I'll have time and start saying I'll make time. Then start saying I'll make time. You stop saying I wish I could and start saying I will. That shift in language changes everything. Because your words are not just communication, they're creation. What you speak, you start to believe. What you believe, you start to do. What you do consistently, you become. And I want you to understand something. Ownership is not a one-time decision. It's a daily discipline. It's waking up every morning and choosing accountability again and again. It's deciding to push through when you're tired, to stay focused when distractions call your name, to keep moving forward even when results are slow. Ownership is not glamorous. It's gritty. It's not loud. It's consistent. It's not about being perfect. It's about being persistent. Some people will never reach their potential because they keep giving their power away. They give it to fear, to doubt, to laziness, to excuses. But you've got to take it back. Take back your time. Take back your confidence. Take back your dreams. Because your future deserves more than your hesitation. It deserves your action. It deserves your effort. It deserves your ownership. Think about this. Every great success story begins with someone who said, enough is enough. I'm taking control of my life. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't have the perfect plan, but they had ownership. They made mistakes, fell down, failed, but they got back up every single time because they knew one thing. It's on me. The power of ownership is understanding that you are the author of your own story. You can't change the chapters that are already written, but you can decide how the next one unfolds. You can choose to rise, to rewrite your ending, to build something extraordinary out of your struggle. Every setback is a setup if you own it. Every failure is a lesson if you claim it. Every pain is purpose if you embrace it. So don't run from responsibility, run toward it. Don't hide from the truth. Face it. Because ownership isn't about blame, it's about empowerment. It's saying, yes, I made mistakes, but I'm not standing there. I'm better than my past. I'm greater than my excuses. I'm stronger than my fears. You got to decide today that no matter what happens, you'll take ownership of your response. If life knocks you down, you'll own the comeback. If things fall apart, you'll own the rebuild. If people doubt you, you'll own your belief. You'll stop living reactive and start living proactive. You'll stop being a passenger and start driving your life. Tomorrow doesn't belong to the ones who wait. It belongs to the ones who own, the ones who take action when others talk, the ones who keep grinding when others quit, grinding when others quit. The ones who understand that success is renting and rent is due every day. And the currency you pay it with is ownership, consistent, daily, unapologetic ownership. So I'm telling you, stop waiting, stop wishing, stop hoping someone will come and fix your life. Take the wheel, drive your dream, command your destiny. Because when you take ownership, everything changes. You stop seeing obstacles as endings and start seeing them as opportunities. You stop asking a why me and start declaring a try me. You stop surviving and start thriving. Tomorrow is not promised, but it's possible. And it's only possible for those who take full responsibility today. So rise up. Own your choices, own your mistakes, own your future. Because the moment you say it's on me is the moment life says, then it's yours. Yesterday is over. It's gone, it's done. You can't fix it, you can't rewrite it, and you can't relive it, but you can learn from it, you can grow from it. And most importantly, you can let it go. Too many people are stuck replaying their past like it's a movie they can't stop watching. They keep reliving the moments that broke them, the mistakes that haunt them, the failures that embarrass them. But here's the truth. The past is over and the future is open. Every time you look back too long, you rob yourself of what's waiting ahead. You can't drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. Eventually you'll crash. And that's what happens to people who can't let go of their past. They keep colliding with their future. You have to make a decision right now that you will no longer be a prisoner. The past has no power unless you keep feeding it. You can't heal by revisiting the pain over and over again. Healing starts when you accept that what's done is done, and you begin focusing on what's next. The best way to honor your past is to outgrow it. Some people keep asking, why did this happen to me? Instead of asking, what did this teach me? That shift changes everything. The past wasn't meant to define you. It was meant to refine you. Every single person has a story filled with moments they wish they could erase. The missed chances, the heartbreaks, the failures, the betrayals. But those moments aren't just scars. They're signatures of strength. They show that you've lived, that you fought, that you survived. Stop being ashamed of your past. The things you went through didn't come to destroy you. They came to prepare you. You can't step into the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the old one. You can't see the sunrise if you keep staring at the darkness. The future is wide open, but you've got to be bold enough to walk into it. You've got to stop letting yesterday's pain steal tomorrow's potential. Every time you say, I wish things were different, you're anchoring yourself to what you can't change. It's time to start saying, I'm grateful for what it taught me. You got to take the lessons, not the limitations. Take the growth, not the grief. Take the wisdom, not the wounds. The past will visit you sometimes. That's natural. Memories will surface, regrets will whisper, and pain might knock on your heart again. But you have to learn to say, I see you, but I'm not staying with you, because growth requires distance from what hurt you. You can't rebuild your life on the same foundation that broke it. You have to clear the debris, lay down something stronger, and start again. That's what the future is for. New beginnings, second chances, redemption stories. Some of you are waiting for the perfect moment to move on. You're saying once I feel ready, I'll start over. But listen, you'll never feel fully ready. You just have to start anyway. You can't wait for the storm to stop. You have to move through it. That's how you discover your strength. You find out who you are not when life is easy, but when it's breaking you apart and you still decide to move forward. The future is open, but it's not automatic. It doesn't just happen. You have to claim it. You have to decide that you deserve better, that you will do better, that you are better than what you've been through. You have to look at your pain and say, you served your purpose. Now I'm moving on. Because every season of your life is temporary. Every heartbreak, every loss, every failure, they were all chapters, not the whole book. If you keep holding on to your past, you can't receive what's coming next. Imagine trying to grab something new while your hands are still full of what's old. You've got to release what you've been holding on. Let go of the guilt, the anger, the disappointment. You can't control what people did to you, but you can control what you do next. You can decide that their actions won't dictate your attitude. You can decide that their rejection won't define your worth. You can decide that your past won't hold you hostage any longer. Some people live in their pain because it's familiar. They've worn their past like a badge for so long that they don't know who they are without it. But you are not your pain. You are not your mistakes. You are not your worst moment. You are the lesson you learned, the courage you found, the wisdom you gained. Stop identifying with the hurt and start identifying with the healer in you. Because the future doesn't belong to the wounded. It belongs to the healed. You've got to wake up every morning with a new mindset. You got to tell yourself, I can't change yesterday, but I can change today. Every sunrise is a fresh start, a chance to do something different, to build something new. The future is open for those who dare to see it that way. Some people treat every day like a repeat of the past. They drag yesterday's failures into today's opportunity. But the moment you treat today as a blank page, that's when your story starts changing. The past has a voice, but it doesn't have authority. It can remind you, but it can't rule you. Unless you let it, you can choose which voice you listen to. The one that says you failed, or the one that says you learn. The one that says you're broken, or the one that says you're broken. The one that says it's over, or the one that says it's just beginning. Which one you feed determines which one grows. Think about a seed. When it's buried in the dirt, it looks dead. It looks finished. But in reality, that darkness is where transformation happens. Your past was that dirt. It covered you, pressed you, maybe even broke you. But it was never meant to bury you. It was meant to plant you. And now your future is calling you to grow. Don't stay underground because of fear. Push through, rise up, break the surface. Because what's ahead of you is brighter than what's behind you. You might not have had control over what happened in your past, but you have complete control over how you respond to it now. You can choose forgiveness over bitterness, growth over regret, hope over fear. Every choice you make is a seed planting your future. So ask yourself, what kind of tomorrow are you building? One that's rooted in resentment or one that's grounded in renewal? The truth is, the past doesn't define your destiny. Your decisions do. You can be the first in your family to break a cycle. You can be the one who turns pain into purpose. You can be the one who refuses to be a product of circumstance and instead becomes a creator of change. The past is only a reference point, not a residence. You glance at it to remember, but you live in the present to move forward. Every time you say, I'm not that person anymore, you reclaim your power. Every time you make a better choice, you rewrite your story. Every time you move forward, you build distance between who you were you're becoming. You are a work in progress, not a prisoner of the prisoner of the prisoner, the past. You are evolving. That's what life is. Constant renewal. Don't let regret become your identity. Everyone has regrets. But regret can either be a weight or a teacher. It can either hold you down or lift you up. The difference lies in perspective. You can look at your past and say, I failed. Or you can look at it and say, I found out what doesn't work. You can say, I lost everything, or I learned what truly matters. You can say, I was broken, or A was built. The story changes when the mindset changes. Sometimes we hold on to the past because we think it gives us security. But the truth is, holding on keeps us stuck. The pain becomes a comfort zone. It's familiar, predictable, and that's dangerous. Growth only happens when you're willing to step into the unknown. The open future is scary because it's undefined, but it's also full of possibility. That's where faith comes in. Faith is believing a future you can't yet see. It's trusting that the same strength that got you through the past will carry you into something greater. You owe it to yourself to see what's possible beyond the pain. You owe it to yourself to see who you can become when you stop letting your past speak louder than your potential. You owe it to yourself to move on. Don't waste your energy trying to change what's unchangeable. Redirect that energy into building what's possible. One day, you'll look back and realize that the things you thought were breaking you were actually shaping you. You'll see that every no led you to a better. Yes, every loss clears space for something greater. Every ending made room for a new beginning. That's the power of letting go. It frees your hands to receive what's next. Stop revisiting old pain like it's your responsibility to carry it. It's not. Your only responsibility now is to grow beyond it. Your only job is to make peace with the past so you can move freely into the future. Don't just survive what happened. Transform because of it. Take your scars and turn them into symbols of survival. Take your heartbreak and use it to build empathy. Take your mistakes and use them to create mastery. The past is over. The future is open. Every breath you take is proof that life is giving you another chance. Don't waste it. Use it. Step into it with courage, with faith, with hunger. You've got so much more to live for, so much more to build, so much more to become. The story isn't over, just beginning. The pen is in your hand now, and the page ahead is blank, waiting for you to write something beautiful. Preparation creates tomorrow. Every dream, every goal, every victory starts not with luck, not with talent, but with preparation. The people you see standing on stages, winning championships, building empires, they didn't just wake up one day and find success waiting at their doorstep. They prepared for it. They sacrificed for it. They built it brick by brick while nobody was watching. Success is not something you stumble upon. It's something you prepare yourself to meet. You can't expect to have a powerful tomorrow if you waste today. The future doesn't belong to the wishful. It belongs to the prepared. Most people want the reward, but they don't want the routine. They want the dream, but they don't want the discipline. They talk about wanting success, but when it's time to put in the work, they disappear. You have to understand that preparation is not glamorous. It's lonely, it's repetitive, it's demanding. It's the hours you spend practicing when nobody is clapping. It's the early mornings when everyone else is sleeping. It's the late nights when you're exhausted but still pushing. It's doing the same thing over and over again until excellence becomes second nature. Preparation is proof of belief. If you truly believe that your tomorrow will be great, you'll start preparing for it today. If you believe that your goals are possible, your actions will show it. People who prepare don't just hope, they expect. They expect results because they know they've done the work. Preparation builds confidence. When you're prepared, you walk differently, you speak differently, you move differently. You don't fear opportunity, you're ready for it. You don't shrink from challenges. You rise to meet them because you've trained for this moment. You can't fake preparation. You can fake confidence, you can fake enthusiasm, but you can't fake the grind. Preparation shows up when pressure arrives. When life tests you, your preparation answer. That's why you can't skip the process. Everyone wants the spotlight, but the spotlight only reveals what you've done in the dark. If you haven't been working behind the scenes, the moment the light hits, your flaws will show. Preparation is what protects you when your big moment comes. Think about an athlete. The game isn't won on the field. It's won in the gym, in practice, in conditioning, in the hours nobody sees. When the world cheers the victory, they're celebrating the preparation. You can't control the competition. You can't control the weather, but you can always control your readiness. You can always control your effort, your focus, your consistency. That's the difference between those who win and those who wish. Preparation is more than action, it's mindset. You prepare your mind before you prepare your hands. You prepare your attitude before you prepare your skills. Because if your mind isn't ready, your body won't follow. You have to start seeing preparation not as punishment, but as privilege. Every time you prepare, you're saying, I believe in my future enough to invest in it. You're planting seeds today for the harvest you'll reap tomorrow. And the harvest doesn't come to those who plant occasionally. It comes to those who plant consistently. The reason most people never reach their goals is because they treat preparation like an option instead of an obligation. They only get serious when opportunity shows up. But by then, it's too late. You don't rise to the occasion. You fall to your level of preparation. The future rewards the discipline, not the distracted. It's what you do in private that determines what you'll experience in public. Every repetition, every small improvement, every moment of focus is shaping your tomorrow. When you prepare daily, you develop habits that make success inevitable. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. You can't cross that bridge without structure. You can't say you want a better tomorrow if your today is filled with excuses. Excuses kill preparation. Excuses sound good, but they don't build anything. They give you comfort in the moment, but cost you progress in the long run. If you keep saying, I'll start tomorrow, you're lying to your future. You're robbing yourself of momentum. Preparation doesn't mean waiting until you're ready. It means getting ready while you wait. Some people think preparation is passive, that it means sitting around hoping something good happens. But true preparation is active. It's sharpening your skills, building your knowledge, strengthening your spirit. It's making sure that when the door opens, you're ready to walk through it. Because opportunity doesn't wait for the unprepared. It doesn't knock twice. When it comes fast. And only those who've been getting ready recognize it. You can't pray for a blessing and not prepare to handle it. You can't ask for more if you can't manage what you already have. The universe, God, life, whatever you believe in, doesn't reward wishers. It rewards worker. Preparation is how you prove you're serious. It's how you say, I'm ready for more. When you prepare, you align your actions with your ambition. You stop just talking about success and start building it. There will be days when preparation feels pointless. Days when you see no results, when progress seems invisible. But those are the days that matter most. That's when your discipline is tested. That's when your faith grows. Because preparation is not just about external progress. It's about internal strength. It's teaching your mind to stay focused when the reward isn't visible yet. It's building resilience, patience, and consistency, the real tools for lasting success. The truth is, your future self is depending on your present discipline. What you do today determines what you'll live tomorrow. If you slack now, your future will suffer later. But if you prepare now, your future will prosper. Every choice adds up. Every decision compounds. Every small act of preparation is a brick in the foundation of your destiny. Stop underestimating small steps. The little things you do every day, reading that extra page, practicing that skill, saving that money, waking up early, they all accumulate into something massive over time. Preparation separates the dreamers from the doers. Dreamers wait for perfect conditions. Doers create them. Dreamers talk about what they'll do one day. Doers start today. Dreamers rely on motivation. Doers rely on structure. You can't live your life based on moods. You have to live based on mission. Motivation fades, but preparation sustains. Motivation is emotional. Preparation is foundational. The people who win aren't the ones who always feel like it. They're the ones who do it anyway. Preparation also means being adaptable. Sometimes your plan will fail. Sometimes the path will change. But if you prepare mentally and emotionally, you can pivot. You can adjust without breaking. You can recover without losing momentum. Preparation gives you flexibility. It gives you the strength to handle surprises. Life will throw curveballs, but the prepared mind is never shaken. It's sharpened. Don't just prepare for success. Prepare for struggle. Prepare for rejection. Prepare for setbacks. Because they will come. And if you're ready for them, they won't destroy you. They'll develop you. Preparation isn't just about achieving goals. It's about surviving storms. It's about being strong enough to keep moving when everything around you is trying to stop you. When you prepare for difficulty, difficulty becomes your teacher, not your enemy. Every great comeback was born from preparation during quiet seasons. When the world counted you out, your preparation kept you in the game. When others gave up, your consistency kept you standing. Preparation gives you staying power. It's the difference between those who start strong and those who finish strong. Anyone can begin with enthusiasm. Only the prepared can endure until the end. You have to be willing to prepare even when nobody recognizes it. Stop craving applause for unfinished work. Let your preparation be private and your success be public. The world doesn't need to see your grind. They'll see your results. You don't need to prove to anyone that you're working. The outcome will speak louder than your words. Preparation is personal. It's between you and your purpose. Understand that preparation is a form of respect. Respect for your dream, for your craft, for your future self. When you prepare, you're saying, I value my destiny too much to show up unready. Every champion prepares like it's their last chance. Every leader prepares like people are depending on them. Because they are. When you take your preparation seriously, you raise your standards. And when your standards rise, your results follow. Don't be afraid of slow progress. Preparation takes time. Growth takes time. Maturity takes time. The reason most people fail is because they want microwave success. Quick, easy, effortless. But greatness is slow cooked. It's built through repetition, consistency, and patience. The process is what makes you valuable. The time it takes is what gives your success meaning. When you prepare properly, you appreciate the victory more because you know what it costs. So start preparing now, not next week, not next month, not when conditions are perfect. Right now, use what you have where you are. Train more, learn more, plan smarter, act bolder. Every bit of preparation compounds into a future you'll be proud of. And when that opportunity arrives, when the door opens, when the chance finally comes, you won't need to get ready because you'll already be ready. Preparation creates tomorrow. It's the invisible work that builds visible results. It's the bridge between dreams and reality. You can't walk into your destiny unprepared. So prepare like it's already yours. Study like it's already yours. Practice like it's already yours. Wake up every day with a mindset that says, my future deserves my best today. Because one day the moment will come. The call, the chance, the opportunity. And when it does, all that preparation will meet purpose. And in that moment, you'll realize that the hours you spent grinding, the sacrifices you made, the focus you kept, they weren't wasted. They were building your tomorrow. Faith over fear is not just a phrase. It's a mindset that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. When you choose faith, you choose to believe in something bigger than your current situation, something stronger than your limitations, and something deeper than your doubts. Every dream, every vision, every goal you've ever had will always require one thing before it becomes reality: belief. And belief is tested the most when fear starts whispering in your ear, telling you that you can't, that you're not ready, that it's too late. But let me tell you something. The people who win in life aren't the ones who never felt fear. They're the ones who learn how to move through it. Faith is that inner fire that tells you to take the leap even when you can't see the landing. It's the voice that says, keep going, when logic says, give up. Faith is what allows you to take that first step when the staircase is invisible. And when you walk by faith, not by sight, you begin to unlock the kind of power that can change your entire life. You start realizing that your situation does not define your destination. You start understanding that your current pain is not your permanent position. Fear tries to freeze you, but faith frees you. But faith frees you every time you let fear make the decision. You're letting your future die before it's even born. You're allowing something invisible and temporary to control something powerful and eternal inside of you. You see, fear lives in the mind, but faith lives in the heart. And the heart will always push you forward, even when your mind is screaming to stay safe. The truth is, safety has never built a legacy. Comfort has never changed the world. Every person who has ever achieved something remarkable, they had to stare fear in the face and say, you will not control me today. Think about it. Fear told Edison he was failing after 10,000 tries, but faith told him he was learning. Fear told Oprah she wasn't good enough for television, but faith told her she had a purpose to speak to millions. Fear told Michael Jordan he wasn't talented enough when he got cut from his high school team, but faith told him to get back in the gym. Faith doesn't ignore fear. It just refuses to bow to it. Because faith understands that fear may visit, but it doesn't get to stay. The world we live in loves to amplify fear. Every day you're surrounded by negativity, by people telling you why you can't, why it's too risky, why you should wait. But faith doesn't wait for the perfect condition. Faith says, if I've got a seed, I'll plant it even in the storm. Because faith knows that it's not the environment that determines growth. It's the decision to plant and water it every single day. The problem is, too many of us wait for proof before we believe. But real faith is believing before you see it, trusting before you touch it, and moving before you know how it'll all turn out. Fear will always disguise itself as logic. It will tell you to be realistic. It'll whisper that maybe your dream is too big, that maybe you're asking for too much. But faith doesn't care about unrealistic. Faith knows that mountains move when you keep climbing. Faith knows that doors open when you keep knocking. Faith knows that even if the world says a no, God can still say yes. When fear says, what if you fail? Faith says, what if you fly? Faith over fear means choosing to believe that what's meant for you will never miss you. It means trusting that even when the path is dark, there's a light guiding you. It means knowing that every setback, every rejection, every delay is actually redirecting you towards something better. Fear sees the obstacle, faith sees the opportunity. Fear says impossible. Faith says I'm possible. You've got to feed your faith more than your fears, because whatever you feed grows. If you keep feeding fear by doubting yourself, by surrounding yourself with negative voices, by replaying your failures. But if you feed your faith through gratitude, through prayer, through positive action, through discipline, that faith will rise and silence the noise of fear. Every morning you have a choice. Are you going to let fear paralyze you, or will you let faith prepare you? Faith is not blind. Faith sees further. It doesn't ignore reality. It just believes in a greater reality beyond what's visible. When you walk by faith, you start noticing that everything you've been through had a reason. The heartbreak, the delay, the struggle, all of it was preparing you for something bigger. Fear would have kept you from those lessons. Fear would have told you to quit before the blessing came. But faith keeps you moving even through the fire. Because faith knows that fire doesn't destroy gold, it refines it. I'm telling you, the moment you decide to trust your process, to believe in your ability, to have faith in your purpose, that's when life starts aligning with your vision. Because the universe doesn't respond to fear, it responds to belief. You can't attract success while constantly doubting yourself. You can't step into your destiny while clinging to your doubts. You've got to release the fear that tells you it's not possible. Because as long as you believe it isn't, it won't be. Faith is the foundation of every great achievement. Without it, you'll crumble the moment the storm comes. But with it, you can stand tall through anything. Faith doesn't mean you won't feel fear. It means you won't surrender to it. It means you'll still take the shot, still make the move, still show up when no one's clapping. Because faith is action, not just belief. It's putting one foot in front of the other, even when you don't know where the path leads. There will be moments when fear gets loud, when everything feels uncertain, when you start questioning if you got what it takes. That's when you dig deeper. That's when you remind yourself of everything you've already overcome. You didn't come this far to stop now. Every mountain you've climbed, every battle you won, that wasn't luck, that was faith in motion. And if it carried you this far, it will carry you further. Faith turns ordinary people into extraordinary achievers. It gives you courage when logic says quit. It gives you energy when exhaustion hits. It gives you hope when everything looks hopeless. Fear will drain you. Faith will drive you. That's why you must protect it at all costs. Don't let fear sit in the driver's seat of your life, because fear will take you to regret, while faith will take you to results. Think about the times fear held you back, the chances you didn't take, the opportunities you let slip, the relationships you didn't start, the words you didn't speak. Every single one of those moments was a moment fear won, and you lost a piece of your potential. But it's not too late. It's the beauty of faith is that it's never too late to start believing again. You can take back control right now. You can say, from this day forward, I choose faith over fear. And once you do, something incredible happens. The world starts to open up in ways you never imagined. You begin to see possibility in places you used to see pain. You start attracting people, opportunities, and energy that match your new level of belief. Because when your vibration is faith, your frequency is victory. Fear operates in scarcity. Faith operates in abundance, and abundance always flows to those who are ready to receive it. Every dream, every breakthrough, every miracle starts with one person who believed when everyone else doubted. That could be you. That should be you. The question is, are you ready to walk by faith? Are you ready to stop letting fear decide your destiny? Are you ready to trust that what's meant for you will meet you womb? Because tomorrow belongs to the faithful. Tomorrow belongs to the ones who rise, even when it's dark. Tomorrow belongs to those who believe that their story isn't over yet. Faith over fear. It's not just a mindset, it's a movement. It's a decision to live in power, not panic. It's choosing courage over comfort, purpose over pressure, progress over perfection. So the next time fear knocks, let faith answer the door. Let your belief be louder than your doubts. Let your purpose be stronger than your pain, because faith will carry you where fear never could. Faith will turn your what if into I did. Faith will transform your someday into today. Remember, fear may be a visitor, but faith is the resident. Keep your heart full of faith and your eyes focused on the vision, because the future doesn't belong to the fearful. It belongs to the faithful. And when you start walking with faith, you'll realize that the impossible was only waiting for your belief to make it real. So stop waiting for permission. Stop hesitating. Step out. Trust yourself. Trust the process. Trust the promise. Because fear says a maybe, but faith says a move. And when you move, miracles follow. Tomorrow isn't for those who are afraid to try. It's for those who believe they were born to ride. Faith over fear. That's how you win your tomorrow. Hustle in silence, shine in success is one of the most powerful principles that separate the truly great from the ones who only talk about greatness. You see, everybody wants the spotlight, but very few want to work in the shadow. Everybody wants the applause, but not everyone wants to put in the hours when no one is watching. The truth is, your biggest growth, your strongest breakthroughs, your most defining moments happen in silence, in private, when it's just you, your vision, and your grind. That's where champions are made. That's where destiny is shaped. That's where success begins. Too many people waste time trying to convince the world that they're working hard instead of actually doing the work. They post every move, every plan, every step, hoping for validation. But listen, validation doesn't build success, consistency does. You don't need to announce your hustle to make it real. You just need to show up day after day, grind after grind, mistake after mistake, and keep pushing. Because when the world finally sees you shine, they won't understand how many silent nights it took to get there. They won't see the early mornings, the late nights, the failures, the sacrifices. They'll just see the result and call it luck. But you'll know it wasn't luck. It was silent work, day after day while others were distracted. Hustling in silence isn't about hiding your dreams. It's about protecting them. It's about protecting them, keeping your focus pure and your energy undisturbed. The moment you start talking too much about what you're doing, you invite noise. You invite opinions, doubts, envy, and distractions. But when you move in silence, you keep control. You build without interference. You evolve without explanation. You grow without judgment. And when it's time to shine, the results will speak louder than your words ever could. When you hustle in silence, you learn patience. You learn discipline. You learn to trust the process even when it's lonely. The silent grind teaches you humility. It reminds you that greatness doesn't need attention. It needs action. Every legend you've ever admired had seasons of silence, seasons where they weren't seen, but they were being shaped. Kobe Bryant was in the gym when others were sleeping. Beyonce was rehearsing when others were relaxing. Steve Jobs was building ideas in a garage before anyone even knew his name. They didn't brag. They built. They didn't post. They produced. Your silence is your strategy. It's where your strength grows. It's where your character is formed. Because silence is not weakness, it's focus. And focus is the most dangerous weapon a dreamer can have. When you're focused, you stop comparing. You stop competing with noise. You stop chasing validation and start chasing progress. You stop talking about what you're going to do and stop becoming what you said you'd be. You stop needing approval because your purpose becomes your motivation. There's a reason why the roots of a tree grow underground, unseen, uncelebrated, and unnoticed. But they are the foundation that allows the tree to rise tall and unshakable. Your silent hustle's the same. It's your roots. It's the part nobody sees, but everyone benefits from when you finally bloom. Okasanza. People will admire your branches, your shade, your fruits, but they'll never understand the strength of your roots. And that's okay. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your grind. Let your results do the talking. Silence protects your energy. Every word you speak about your goals has power. When you share too much too early, you give away that energy before it's fully formed. People's doubts, negativity, or jealousy can plant seeds of fear in your mind. That's why the wise move quietly. They let the plan unfold privately. They let the success make the announcement. When you reach the top, your work will tell your story better than your words ever could. Hustle in silence also means being okay with being misunderstood. It means people might think you're not doing enough because they can't see your progress. They might think you're lazy because you're not talking about it. But you're not in this to prove them wrong. You're in this to prove yourself right. The grind doesn't need applause. The progress doesn't need validation. Your reward will be the moment when your success is too bright for them to ignore. That's when the same people who doubted your silence will be silenced by your results. By your champion has walked through seasons where no one clapped, no one cared, and no one believed. And that's what makes their shine so powerful, because it came from pure dedication, not attention. The silent seasons test your hunger. They test whether you really want it or just want to be seen wanting it. When you can work without recognition, when you can grind without feedback, when you can keep going without applause, that's when you're unstoppable. Because if you can perform without the crowd, imagine what you'll do when the lights finally hear you. Silence is sacred. It's where your faith grows stronger. It's where you align with your purpose. It's where you hear your inner voice clearly without the noise of the world. When you hustle in silence, you're not just working. You're transforming. You're building not only skills, but mindset. You're learning resilience, patience, and focus. Things no shortcut can teach you. You're investing in yourself when no one else is watching. And that's the kind of investment that always pays back. And then when the time comes, when you've done enough silent work, when your preparation meets opportunity, you shine. You don't have to say a word. You don't have to prove anything. Your success becomes your speech. Your results become your reputation. You don't need to announce your worth because your work has already done it for you. That's what shining in success means. It's not about bragging. It's about becoming undeniable. When you shine in success, you inspire others, not because you told them what you would do, but because you showed them what persistence looks like. You showed them what quiet confidence looks like. You showed them that you don't need to make noise to make impact. The brightest stars don't make sound, they just shine. The loudest in the room is rarely the most powerful. Real power moves with grace, precision, and purpose. You've got to understand that your silence today is not a sign of weakness, it's the sound of strategy. The grind doesn't need to be broadcast. You don't have to announce your next step. In fact, the most successful people move with mystery. They don't tell people what they're planning. They let the results appear like magic. Because what people don't see, they can't sabotage. Protect your dreams like treasures. Don't let everyone have access to them. Not everyone clapping for you wants to see you win. So move quietly, stay humble, and let your victories make the noise. Remember, consistency is louder than any post, any speech, any announcement. You can talk about your plans all day, but talk doesn't move mountains. Work does. Every day you wake up, remind yourself, I'm not here to talk about it. I'm here to be about it. Because every second you spend explaining your hustle is a second you could have spent building it. You don't need to prove your worth. Your work ethic will prove it for you. When you finally reach a breakthrough, people will act like it happened overnight, but you'll know the truth. You'll know it took years of unseen effort. You'll remember the nights when you felt invisible, the mornings when you wanted to quit, the sacrifices that no one clapped for, and you'll smile because you didn't do it for them. You did it for the purpose that burns inside you. You did it for the dream that wouldn't let you sleep. You did it for the version of yourself to refuse to settle. That's what real success feels like: peace, pride, and power. So keep hustling when no one's watching. Keep working when no one believes. Keep planting seeds even when the soil looks dry. Because one day when your season comes, you won't need to say a thing. The world will see what silence built. Your light will be too bright for them to ignore. And the best part, you'll know that every bit of it came from your discipline, your patience, and your quiet grind. Let them doubt you. Let them overlook you. Let them underestimate you. Because the same people who ignore you today will quote you tomorrow. The same ones who laughed at your silence will one day admire your shine. That's the beauty of hustling in silence. You don't have to chase attention. You attract it naturally when you've earned it. So wake up every day and put in the work. Don't post about it. Don't talk about it. Don't brag about it. Just do it. Because success doesn't care about noise. It cares about results. And when your results show up, they'll speak louder than anything you could have said. Work so hard that your success becomes the announcement. Work so consistently that your name becomes a statement. Work so silently that your victory becomes a surprise. At the end of the day, remember this. Silence builds the foundation and success builds the echo. You don't need the world to clap for you now. Just keep grinding, keep believing, and keep becoming. Because one day your silence will turn into sound. The sound of victory, the sound of achievement, the sound of dreams fulfilled. Hustle in silence, shine in success, and when that light hits, it'll be blinding. Your words shape your world, and the way you speak to yourself determines how far you will go. Too many people wake up every morning and immediately start speaking defeat over their lives. Can't do this. I'll never make it. It's too hard. And then they wonder why their life keeps going in circles, why their energy feels drained before the day even begins. You gotta understand something powerful. Your words carry weight. Every sentence you speak is either building your tomorrow or breaking it down. You can't keep planting negative seeds and expect a positive harvest. You can't talk about failure all day and expect success to show up at your door. The universe responds to what you say. Your mind believes what you repeat, and your future reflects what you declare. If you want to change your tomorrow, you got to start by changing the language you speak today. I'm talking about speaking life, not just wishing for it, but declaring it with authority. When you wake up, you got to say it out loud. Not because everything is perfect, not because you already have what you want, but because you're aligning your mind and your mouth with your purpose. You might not see the results yet, but when you speak it long enough, your actions start to follow your words. Your mind says, "Oh, we're built for this." Your heart says, "We can do this." Your soul says, "Let's go." It's a shift that happens when you decide to stop letting fear, doubt, and negativity have the microphone in your life. You take the mic back and speak power into your path. The truth is, every successful person learned this secret early. They realize that before success shows up in reality, it shows up in your vocabulary. Before you can live it, you gotta speak it. Before you can walk in confidence, you gotta talk in confidence. Look back at history. Every great leader, every champion, every visionary started by declaring something out loud. They spoke their dream before they saw it. They told themselves it's possible when everyone else said it was impossible. They refused to let the words of others drown out the belief in their own voice. You have that same power inside you right now, but you got to start using it intentionally. When you speak light, you're not ignoring reality, you're reshaping it. You're not pretending that the pain doesn't exist. You're deciding that pain won't define your story. You're not running from challenges. You're declaring victory before the battle even begins. Life will test you. Life will try to silence you. But that's when you need to speak even louder. When doubt whispers you can't, you shout back and watch me. When fear says you'll fail, you respond, I will rise. The moment you start talking like a winner, you start acting like one. And when your actions catch up to your words, that's when transformation begins. Think about it. The same tongue that can destroy can also build. The same words that can discourage can also inspire. You decide which one you'll use. You decide whether your voice becomes a weapon of destruction or a tool of creation. Stop using your words to curse your future. Stop talking yourself out of blessings because of temporary setbacks. Every time you say, I can't, you're shutting a door that could have opened. Every time you say it's impossible, you're building a wall that blocks your own progress. But every time you say, I will, I am, you're planting seeds that grow into purpose, confidence, and strength. It's not easy, I get that. Some of you have spent years surrounded by negativity, from people, from environments, even from your own mind. It's hard to unlearn that language. But the first step toward transformation is awareness. Start catching yourself when you speak doubt. Replace it with something powerful. Instead of saying, I'll never be successful, say, I'm learning, I'm growing, and success is on its way. Instead of saying, I'm tired of failing, say, every failure is preparing me for my breakthrough. Instead of saying, I'm not enough, say, I am becoming enough every single day. That's not arrogance. That's alignment with purpose. You're speaking life into the version of you that's trying to emerge. When you speak life, it doesn't just change your attitude. It changes your energy. You start attracting better opportunities, better people, better experiences, because positivity is magnetic. Confidence is contagious. The moment you start talking like you belong in success, success starts paying attention. You stop chasing validation from others because you've already validated yourself. You stop waiting for others to speak life into you because you've learned how to speak it for yourself. That's real power. When you don't depend on outside noise to determine your inner peace. Sometimes people will laugh at you for speaking with confidence when they only see your struggle. They'll say, who are you to talk like that? But they don't understand. You're not speaking from where you are. You're speaking from where you're going. You're declaring the promise before the proof. You're calling forth your destiny before the evidence shows up. Don't let their disbelief silence your declaration. You're not crazy. You're creating. You're not delusional. You're determined. Keep speaking. Keep believing. Keep declaring. The world might not see it yet, but they will. You have to be your own hype man sometimes. You've got to look in the mirror and remind yourself of who you are when life tries to make you forget. Speak it until you believe it. Speak it until your body feels it. Speak it until every cell in your being wakes up to your potential. That's how you build an unbreakable mindset. Not through comfort, but through consistent declarations of power. You may be tired, but speak strength. You may be broke, but speak abundance. You may be lost, but speak direction. You may be hurting, but speak healing. You are what you repeatedly declare yourself to be. Your words have the power to set the tone of your entire day. You can wake up and say, another hard day, and your mind will agree. It'll find proof all day long that it's hard. Or you can wake up and say, this is my day. I'm ready for anything. And guess what? Your mind will find proof of that too. Life follows language. The energy you release through your words boomerangs back into your experience. If you speak frustration, you attract frustration. If you speak faith, you attract favor. It's not magic, it's mindset. But you can't just speak life once and expect everything to change overnight. You gotta make it a lifestyle. Daily affirmations, daily declarations, daily reminders of who you are becoming. Consistency is key. It's like watering seed. You don't see the growth right away, but beneath the surface, things are shifting. Your words are breaking the ground. Your belief is feeding the roots. And in time, your vision starts to bloom. So keep speaking life even when it feels pointless. Keep declaring victory even when it looks like defeat. Because one day you'll look back and realize that everything you spoke in faith became your reality. Some of you have powerful dreams inside you, but your words are killing them before they can breathe. You say, I want to start a business, but then you add, I'm not good enough. You say, I want to change my life, but then you add, it's too late. You're canceling your own dreams with a mouth. You've got to stop that today. Start saying, I'm learning what it takes. Start saying, it's not too late for me. Start saying, I have everything I need to start. That small shift will ignite something powerful in you. Belief. And once belief catches fire, nothing stops you. The greatest transformations start with words. But let there be light wasn't just a phrase. It was a command that changed everything. You have that same power to create light in your dark places. You can speak illumination into confusion, direction into doubt, strength into weakness. The only difference between the person who stays stuck and the person who moves forward is the language they use. One said, why me? The other says, try me. One complains about the storm. The other declares, I am the storm. Choose which voice you'll let guide your path. You might think your words don't matter, but they do. Your future is listening. Your destiny is waiting for instruction. Every I am statement you make is sending a message to your subconscious mind. It's programming your belief system. So when you say, I am confident, your mind starts looking for reasons to prove it. When you say, I am unstoppable, your actions begin to reflect that truth. But if you keep saying, well, I'm tired, I'm unlucky, I am stuck, your life will match those words too. You have the remote control. Choose the right channel. Speak life, not just for yourself, but for the people around you too. Be the voice of encouragement in a world full of criticism. Tell your friends they're capable. Tell your family they're loved. Tell yourself you're chosen. Because when you start spreading that kind of energy, it comes back multiplied. A rising tide lifts all ships, and your positive words can create waves of transformation that reach far beyond your own life. So from this moment on, guard your tongue like treasure. Speak words that lift, not limit. Words that build, not break. Words that guide, not guilt. When life knocks you down, don't use your breath to complain. Use it to declare your comeback. Tell the world, I'm not done yet. Tell yourself, I'm still standing. Tell your fears you picked the wrong one. Because you have greatness in you, and it's waiting for you to speak it into existence. Tomorrow is yours, but only if you speak it today. Open your mouth and create the world you want to live in. Speak life into your future and watch as the doors you once thought were locked begin to open. The power is not out there. It's inside you. You just got to use it. So say it loud, say it proud, say it every day. I am strong, I'm ready, I'm unstoppable. Speak life and your life will start to reflect everything you ever believed you could become. Pain is temporary, purpose is eternal. A truth that every successful person understands deep in their soul. The reality is this: everyone faces pain. Everyone walks through dark moments, heartbreak, failure, rejection, and loss. Pain is part of the process, it's part of the journey. You cannot grow without it, you cannot rise without it. And you cannot fulfill your purpose without going through seasons that break you, shape you, and refine you. Pain doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to develop you. It doesn't come to weaken you, it comes to prepare you for something greater. The problem is that too many people quit when it hurts. They stop pushing when the pressure comes. But those who understand that pain is temporary know that it's not there to last. It's there to pass. And when it passes, it leaves strength behind. You see, purpose gives your pain meaning. Without purpose, pain feels like punishment. But with purpose, pain becomes preparation. Every time you go through something difficult, you have two choices. You can see it as the end or as the evolution of something new within you. Every great story has a struggle. Every victory comes after a battle. Every diamond was once just a piece of carbon under pressure. That's what pain is, pressure. And pressure is proof that you're being molded into something stronger, something sharper, something greater. When you look at people who have achieved greatness, athletes, leaders, creators, dreamers, they've all faced moments of pain that could have broken them. But instead of running from it, they embraced it. They learned from it. They used it as fuel. Pain taught them lessons that comfort never could. Because comfort is the enemy of growth. Comfort keeps you the same. Pain forces you to change. Pain wakes you up. It makes you question, reflect, and rebuild. It pushes you to go beyond what you thought was possible. And when you finally rise from that pain, you realize that it didn't take from you. It gave you everything you needed to step into your purpose. There will be moments in your life when the weight of your struggles feels unbearable, when it feels like you can't take another step. But that's when you must remind yourself that this is temporary. Every storm runs out of rain. Every night eventually meets the morning. The question is not whether the pain will end, it's whether you'll endure long enough to see what it was trying to teach you. Because pain doesn't last, but quitting does. Regret lasts, giving lasts. And when you quit, you rob yourself of the victory that was waiting on the other side of the struggle. Purpose is what makes the pain work. When you have a reason, when you have a vision, when you know why you're doing what you're doing, you can enjoy almost anything. You can take the hits. You can keep moving through the tears. Because you understand that the pain isn't punishment, it's positioning. It's positioning you where you need to be. It's shaping your character, your mindset, your resilience. It's stripping away weakness so that what's left is pure strength. So many people want success without suffering, results without resistance, greatness without grind. But that's not how it works. You can't skip the pain and still reach the purpose. Pain is the price you pay for growth. It's the evidence that you're pushing past your limits. And when you stop running from pain and start learning from it, everything changes. Pain becomes your teacher. It becomes your motivator. It becomes your reminder that you're still alive, still fighting, still capable of more. When life hits you hard, don't ask, why me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Because every pain has a message. Every challenge carries a lesson, and every lesson brings you closer to your purpose. You might not understand it now, but one day you'll look back and realize that the very pain you thought would break you actually built you. The heartbreak made you wiser. The failure made you stronger. The rejection redirected you to something better. The struggle revealed your strength. Think about it. When you're in the gym, your muscles only grow when you push them beyond the comfort zone. The resistance causes tiny tears in your muscle fiber, and those tears are what allow them to rebuild bigger and stronger. Pain works the same way in life. Every trial, every setback, every disappointment is tearing down the old you so that the new, stronger, wiser, more resilient you can emerge. That's how you grow. That's how you evolve. That's how you fulfill your purpose. You've got to stop seeing pain as a sign to stop and start seeing it as a sign to keep going. The pain is proof that you're making progress. It's proof that you're moving forward. You're breaking barriers, stretching your limits, and stepping into a new level of who you are meant to be. If you stop when it hurts, you'll never see how strong you can be. But if you keep going, you'll see that the pain that once scared you becomes the power that fuels you. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in life come right after the greatest pain. The darkest nights often produce the brightest mornings. When you feel like giving up, that's usually the moment you're closest to a breakthrough. Because pain increases right before the transformation happens. It's like the moment before birth. The most intense pain precedes the greatest miracle. The same is true for your dreams, your goals, your calling. The struggle you're facing is not a sign of failure. It's a sign that something powerful is about to be born. You've got to understand that your purpose is eternal. It doesn't disappear when times get tough. It doesn't fade when life gets hard. Your purpose is part of who you are. It's written in your DNA. Pain may delay it, but it cannot destroy it. The fire inside you was placed there for a reason, to burn through every obstacle, every fear, every setback. That's why you must never let temporary pain make you forget your permanent purpose. You can cry, but don't quit. You can fall, but don't stay down. You can hurt, but don't stop healing. Because as long as you keep moving, you're still on the path to your purpose. When you look at your pain through the lens of purpose, you realize it wasn't wasted. Nothing you've been through was meaningless. Every tear, every heartbreak, every sleepless night had a reason. It was preparing you for the next chapter of your story. Pain refines you. Sure, it teaches you empathy, patience, and strength. It teaches you to appreciate peace, to value joy, and to stay humble. Pain keeps you grounded. It reminds you where you came from. It reminds you that everything valuable in life has a price. Purpose-driven people don't let pain define them. Let it drive them. They understand that pain can either be a prison or a platform. You can let it lock you down, or you can let it lock you down, or you can let it lift you up. You can let it make you bitter, or let it make you better. The choice is always yours. When you focus on purpose, you stop asking for the pain to end and start asking for the strength to endure it. You stop avoiding challenges and start embracing them as stepping stones. Every time you overcome pain, your confidence grows. You start realizing that you are capable of far more than you ever thought. You start trusting yourself more. You start believing that no matter what comes your way, you'll find a way through. And that's the power of purpose. It gives your pain a reason to exist. It transforms your suffering into strength and your wounds into wisdom. One day, someone will look at your life and think it was easy. They'll see your success, your strength, your smile, but they won't see the pain behind it. They won't see the nights you wanted to give up, the battles you fought alone, the moments you cried in silence. But you'll know that your glow came from your grind, that your peace came from your pain, that your purpose was born through pressure. And that's why you'll never take it for granted. You have to remember this truth. Pain is not the opposite of purpose. It's part of it. Without pain, you wouldn't have passion. Without struggle, you wouldn't have strength. Without loss, you wouldn't have gratitude. Pain connects you to your humanity. It connects you to others. It gives your life depth and meaning. It reminds you that every victory is earned, not given. So the next time pain visits, don't run from it. Face it, feel it. Learn from it, let it mold you. Because every time you survive something you thought you could, you become unbreakable. People are unstoppable. When pain comes, tell yourself that this will not last, but what I learned from it will stay forever. Pain is temporary, but what it produces, strength, wisdom, character, purpose, lasts a lifetime. Don't let a moment of struggle make you give up on a lifetime of meaning. Keep going through the pain, because the reward waiting on the other side will make it all worth it. The suffering will fade, but the story will remain. The wounds will heal, but the lessons will live forever. Your purpose is eternal. It's the reason you're still standing. It's the reason you wake up every day with a fire inside you. The pain you're facing today will one day become the testimony that inspires someone else. It will become proof that you can turn pain into power and weakness into strength. So keep walking, keep believing, keep pushing. Because pain might visit for a night, but purpose stays for a lifetime. Tomorrow doesn't wait for the undecided. The clock keeps ticking whether you move or not. And the world doesn't stop spinning because you're unsure. You've got dreams sitting inside you, visions that keep you awake at night, goals that whisper your name every single day. But none of it will ever become real until you decide to start. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when the timing is right, now. You can't keep waiting for the perfect moment, because the truth is there's no such thing. The perfect moment is the one you create by stepping forward when everyone else is standing still. You don't need all the answers, you don't need all the resources, and you don't need permission. You just need to begin. Starting now means refusing to let fear paralyze you any longer. It means silencing the voice in your head that keeps saying, what if I fail? And replacing it with, what if I fly? You've spent too much time standing on the edge, thinking, overthinking, analyzing every risk until opportunity slips through your fingers. The people who make it in life aren't always the smartest or most talented. They're the ones who act while others are still talking. They move, they try, they fall, and they get back up. Every step forward, even the smallest one, builds momentum. And momentum is the silent force that separates the dreamers from the doers. You've got to stop waiting for confidence to show up before you take the leap. Confidence doesn't come first. Courage does. You gain confidence by doing, by failing, by trying again. Every single successful person you admire started with fear in their chest, doubt in their mind, and trembling hands. But they moved anyway. They made mistakes, learned and adjusted. They didn't sit around waiting for conditions to be perfect. They made progress in imperfection. If you wait for everything to line up perfectly before you act, you'll spend your whole life waiting. Progress beats perfection every single time. Starting now is an act of rebellion against procrastination. Procrastination is the dream killer. It whispers sweet lies. You have time. You can do it later. You're not ready yet. And before you know it, later becomes never. You keep putting things off, and then you wake up one day realizing the opportunity has passed. The world moved on, and you're still stuck in someday. Listen to me. Someday is not a day on the calendar. If you don't assign your dream a date, it'll stay a fantasy forever. The people who build something meaningful, who change their lives, who create impact, are the ones who choose to start even when it's inconvenient. Don't wait for motivation either. Motivation is like a spark. It fades quickly. Discipline is what keeps the fire burning. You won't always feel like starting, but that's exactly when you need to, because the hardest step to take is always the first one. Once you start, your brain adjusts, your energy shifts, and your focus strengthens. The resistance you felt begins to fade. The key is to stop negotiating with your excuses. Stop telling yourself, I'll start when I have more time, because you'll never magically find more time. You've got to make it. If it matters, you'll find a way. If it doesn't, you'll find an excuse. You need to understand this. Time is not waiting for you. Every second you hesitate, someone else is out there putting in the work, taking the chance, building the life you keep saying you want. The difference between the person who succeeds and the one who doesn't isn't talent, it's urgency. One acts like their dream is oxygen. The other treats it like an option. You got to develop a sense of urgency about your life. You don't know how much time you have left, and you can't keep wasting it on fear, doubt, or hesitation. The graveyard is full of unfulfilled dreams, unrealized potential, and people who said, I'll start tomorrow. Don't let that be your story. Starting now means choosing to take control of your destiny instead of being controlled by your circumstances. You might not have everything figured out, but action brings clarity. When you start, doors open that you couldn't even see before. The path becomes clearer because you're walking it. You can't steer a parked car. You've got to start moving before direction appears. Some of you are praying for signs, asking for confirmation, waiting for the universe to speak. But maybe the universe is waiting for you to move. Once you start, opportunities align. People show up and momentum carries you forward. Every giant leap begins with a single small step. You don't have to write the whole book today, just write the first page. You don't have to run the marathon, just take the first stride. You don't have to have the perfect plan, just start with what you have. The miracle movement is that it compounds. One small action builds on another until you look back and realize you've come further than you ever imagined. You can't reach the mountaintop by staring at it. You climb it one step at a time, and it all begins the moment you decide to start now. But let me be real. Starting now doesn't mean it'll be easy. You will fall. You will stumble. You will question yourself. That's part of the process. The pain you'll face along the way isn't a sign you're failing. It's proof that you're growing. It's proof that you're growing. Every obstacle, every rejection, every delay is teaching you something essential. The ones who quit never get to see what the struggle was shaping them for. So when it gets tough, remind yourself why you started. Keep going. You'll thank yourself later for the courage you showed today. Too many people get stuck in planning mode. They spend all their time preparing, researching, and waiting for their right moment. And in doing so, they never actually execute. Planning is good, but over-planning is a trap. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You just need to trust that one step will lead to the next. Action creates experience, and experience builds wisdom. You'll learn more by doing for 1 week than by planning for 1 year. There's something powerful about momentum. Once you start, your brain adapts, your confidence grows, and you begin to expect progress. But you can't build momentum if you're stuck in neutral. The first push is always the hardest, but once you're moving, everything starts to flow. You begin to attract opportunities that align with your movement. The world rewards action, not intentions, not dreams, but action. You might be scared. You might be uncertain, but courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward in spite of it. Don't let comparison hold you back either. Stop looking at where others are and thinking you're too far behind. You're not behind. You're just not moving yet. The moment you start, you're already ahead of everyone still waiting. Everyone starts somewhere. The people you admire had a day one too. They weren't experts when they began. They became experts because they started. Your beginning may be messy, but that's how every masterpiece starts. You owe it to yourself to begin. You owe it to the person you become. You owe it to the version of you that's been dreaming for too long. Start now because tomorrow is never guaranteed. Start now because the longer you wait, the louder your doubts become. Start now because progress, even slow progress, is better than standing still. Don't worry about failing. Failure isn't fatal, it's feedback. Every mistake teaches you something success never could. Starting now means accepting that you might not get it right immediately, but you'll get better every single time you try. You'll never feel completely ready, and that's okay. Readiness is a myth. The only way to get ready is to begin. Every master was once a beginner who had the courage to take the first step. Don't rob yourself of the chance to grow because you're afraid of looking foolish at the start. Everyone stumbles in the beginning. That's how you learn balance. The discomfort you feel when starting is just your old self fighting the change your new self needs. Push through it. The first move is always the hardest, but it's also the most powerful. And remember, your start doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Start where you are with what you have and do what you can. Don't wait for someone to hand you a map. You are the map. Every step you take creates the path. You might start small. One idea, one action, one commitment. But if you keep showing up, those small moves become unstoppable momentum. The people who win are not always the most talented. They're the ones who refuse to stop moving. Every moment you delay, your dream gets further away. Every excuse you make adds one more day of regret. There will never be a right time. There's only now. Right now, you have the chance to take the first step toward everything you've ever wanted. It doesn't matter if you're scared. It doesn't matter if you don't know how it will end. What matters is that you begin. Because once you do, you start to change not just your future, for your mindset, your habits, and your life. So start now. Not because you have to, but because you deserve to. You deserve the life you've imagined. You deserve the success you've worked for in your heart. You deserve to wake up every day knowing you're living with purpose. Don't let fear talk you out of that. Don't let doubt convince you to stay still. You waited long enough. The world needs your gifts, your voice, your vision, and it needs them now. Tomorrow doesn't belong to the ones who hesitate. It belongs to the ones who move. Don't wait for another sunrise to make a change. Don't wait for another month to take that step. Start now. Because when you move, the universe moves with you. When you act, life responds. When you begin, destiny begins to unfold. You don't need to be perfect. Just present. You don't need to know everything. Just believe something. You don't need to wait for someday, because someday is today. So stand up, breathe deep, and say it with conviction. I'm ready. I'm starting now. And once you do, watch how your entire world starts to shift in your favor. You've come this far, and now it's time to make a decision. Life won't hand you your dreams on a silver platter. It will test you, it will challenge you, it will stretch you, but it will also reward you if you're brave enough to begin. The message of everything you've heard isn't about waiting for the right opportunity. It's about becoming the kind of person who creates it. You have everything you need right now. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. The only thing standing between who you are and who you're meant to be is the step you haven't taken yet. You plan, you dream, you imagine, but now it's time to move. The longer you wait, the heavier that dream becomes, the louder your doubts grow, and the further away your goals feel. But the moment you decide to act, everything starts to change. The truth is, you don't need permission to start. Nobody is coming to tap you on the shoulder and say, it's your time. You have to declare that for yourself. You have to wake up every day and tell the world, this is my season, this is my moment, this is my turn. Because if you keep waiting for someone to save you, you'll stay waiting. The power to change your life has always been in your hands. You just have to choose to use it. There will always be reasons to wait. Fear, uncertainty, lack of resources. But there will never be a better time than now. Every excuse you make today will become your regret tomorrow. So decide today that you're done watching from the sidelines. You're done letting your potential collect dust. You're done letting fear win the battle for your future. The world doesn't remember the ones who almost started. It remembers the ones who did. It remembers the ones who did. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to know how everything will unfold. You just need to trust yourself enough to take the first step. Once you do, momentum will take over. Opportunities you couldn't see before will start appearing. People who can help you will cross your path. But none of that happens until you start moving. When you decide to start now, you send a message to life that you're serious. You tell the universe, I'm ready. And life always responds to readiness. The path won't be easy. You'll stumble, you'll fail, you'll question yourself. But each setback is a lesson. Each fall is building a stronger version of you. You'll start to realize that the goal was never just about achieving something. It was about becoming someone. Every bit of resistance you face on the way is shaping you into the kind of person who can handle the success you're chasing. Don't curse the process. It's preparing you for everything you ask for. The people who win in life aren't those who had the best start. They're the ones who refused to stop. They're the ones who kept going when the excitement faded. They showed up when no one was watching. They kept building when no one was clapping. You got that same power inside you. You don't need external validation to keep moving. You just need internal conviction. Remind yourself every day that progress, not perfection, is the goal. Every step you take is evidence that you're no longer stuck. Every effort you make, no matter how small, moves you closer to the life you want. Don't underestimate the power of starting small. Big dreams are built on small actions repeated consistently. Every great empire began with one decision to start. The people who reach their goals aren't lucky. They're relentless. They don't stop until they're tired. They stop when they're done. They understand that the journey is long, but that every second counts. You can't rush growth, but you can commit to it. Every time you choose to act, even when you don't feel like it, you're building character. And that character will carry you further than talent ever could. As you move forward, you'll realize that starting now isn't just about chasing dreams. It's about honoring yourself. It's about respecting the gift of time and refusing to waste it. It's about recognizing that you are capable more than you've been showing. You are powerful. You are gifted. You are equipped. But none of that matters if you stay stuck in a maybe later. The world doesn't need another person who plays small. It needs people who show up, who take chances, who believe enough to begin even when the odds are stacked against them. Be that person. Be the one who decides that fear will no longer have the final say. You owe it to yourself to try, even if it's scary, even if it's uncertain, even if you don't know what comes next. Because regret will always hurt more than failure. You can recover from failure, but you can't rewind time. 10 years from now, you'll look back and either be proud you started or wish you had. Choose pride. Choose action. Choose now. You've been waiting for a sign. This is it. The fact that you're still here breathing alive with another chance, that is your sign. The universe has already given you permission. All that's left is for you to take the step. Understand this. Greatness doesn't come from comfort. It comes from courage. It comes from deciding that you're tired of being where you are and daring to reach for more. Every day you hesitate is a day you could have been building your future. Stop letting fear control the story. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that something important is on the other side. Step through it. Push past it. Because beyond that fear lies the version of you that you were always meant to be. You got a fire inside you that's been waiting to burn brighter. Don't smother it with excuses. Feed it with action. You don't need all the lights green to start driving. Just take the first green light in front of you. The rest will turn when you get there. You'll learn along the way. You'll adapt. You'll grow. And one day you'll look back and realize that everything you feared was never as powerful as you thought. What mattered was that you started. Starting now doesn't guarantee instant success, but it guarantees progress. Every day you show up, you move one step closer to your breakthrough. It's like planting a seed. It doesn't bloom overnight, but if you water it daily, it will grow. Keep showing up even when the results aren't visible yet, because that consistency is building roots deep within you. You're not just chasing goals. You're building a foundation strong enough to carry everything you're destined for. And when that moment comes, when the results start to show, when the world starts to notice, you'll know it was worth it. You'll know that all those days you chose to act, even when no one cared, were preparing you for this. You realize that the hardest part was never the work, it was starting. But because you started, you gave yourself a chance. You gave yourself a future. You gave yourself freedom. So let this be your declaration. I'm done waiting. I'm done doubting. I'm done letting fear control my story. I'm starting now. Say it, mean it, live. Say it, mean it, live it. And when tomorrow comes, you'll meet it as someone who chose to move forward instead of standing still. That's how transformation begins. Not with a miracle, but with a decision. Tomorrow belongs to those who act today. And you right here, right now, have that power. The power to begin, the power to rise, the power to create the life you've always wanted. Don't waste another moment. Take that step. Build that dream, start now, and never look back.